Okay, it looks like we are live in the group now. So hello, Grouping and Solar Community. Hope everyone's having a great Wednesday. I'm here today with Becca Switzer. She's the owner of the Roof Sales Mastery Group, and she's a sales training expert, and she's gonna do some live training for us today. So thank you for joining us, Becca.
Absolutely happy to be here.
Yes, we're looking to have her as a panelist and breakout speaker for RoofCon this year. Very excited to hear from her then too.
Looking forward to it. See you guys in Orlando. I'm gonna have a bad hair day there. Too much humidity. It's fine.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna let you take it away now and do the thing.
Sounds good. Hello, everybody. It's Becca Switzer with Roof Sales Mastery, author of Diamonds in the Sky. And I am going to be doing just kind of a quick 3 mini pieces of some sales training and tips here for you guys today. So I picked 3 of my favorite topics that I always think really deliver a lot of value. And I'm going to be screen sharing. Bear with me. I'm not always the best with technology, but we're going to do our darndest. All right. So the 3 topics that we're going to share today are first going to be how to build relationships with real estate agents and insurance agents to create leads. And then I'm going to go over my proactive referral approach. Hopefully you guys have heard this before, but if not, it works really well and can help you eliminate door knocking. And then the third thing is one of my favorite topics to teach, and that's just how I describe to people how insurance company used to pay versus how they pay now. And what that does is we're actually in a more effective way explaining depreciation to customers so that you can eliminate the bid collecting request, and it really helps with the deductible request too. So we're going to go over that, and I've got some slides from a previous talk that I'm just going to use to give you guys some visuals. Hopefully everybody can see that. Kyra, can you see my screen?
I can.
Sweet. Okay, cool. So if you guys want to take screenshots or something, I just wanted to give you visuals so that you can follow along with the words and not just try to remember what I'm saying. So first and foremost, we're going to go over how to close cheap, easy referrals on the spot. And the problem with referrals for most people is they're way too passive. Like, people think that they're asking for referrals, and they are, but you get the job done and you leave a stack of business cards and you say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, if you're happy with your roof, if you know anybody who might need a new roof or might want an inspection, please have them give me a call. And you're for sure going to get some. Like, obviously you're going to have really happy customers that want to promote you, and you're going to have people who ask their neighbor, like, hey, who did your roof and stuff like that. And that's great. But I really encourage you guys to be a lot more proactive and actually close your referrals. Like, look at it like a sales pitch. Like, you're going to acquire those leads here and now and take off with them and then call them yourself. And so, because normally what happens, like, people mean well, and I always make this joke and I say, Mrs. Jones will take your business cards and be like, absolutely, I can't wait. I'll tell everyone from church. I'll tell my neighbors. I'll tell my friends. But then they go in her back pocket and then go through the washing machine, or they get stuck in the junk drawer and then they're just gone forever with the Bed Bath & Beyond coupons, right? Like, that's where they go to die. So what we want to do is be proactive and actually close those. And that's kind of what this is going to look like. And the other thing I guess I want to bring up too, this is actually pretty important and interesting. I find it very hilarious. Another thing that a lot of roofers are doing is they'll say, hey, Mrs. Jones, for every referral you send my way in the future, we offer a, insert number, $250 cash referral bonus. So if you refer me 4 people, you get $1,000 cash. And that's great. But what I found was people would rather have like $15 now than the promise of $250 later. And I'm going to get to that in a second. So here's what we want to do. All right. Carry around. This was like a game changer for me. I want you guys to just go out and get a little stack of gift cards. They can literally be like $15. Pick things that people like that are easy crowd pleasers. Starbucks, Target, who doesn't love Target, right? Or like the local, if you guys have like a Quick Trip or Wawa or whatever it is in your area, like a gas station or Walmart or something like that. Get a little stack of those cards, carry them around everywhere, and get 2 different kinds, okay? And so here's what I used to do, and I love this approach. Here's the script. If you want to take a screenshot of it, please do, but here's how it sounds. Here's what I would say. So we get the project done, right? And we're like, okay, they're excited. So Mrs. Jones, now that everything's done, like everything's taken care of, what did you think of the process? It was a pretty awesome deal, right? And they're like, oh yeah, it was great. And you're like, you basically got an extreme makeover home edition on your house for like 98% off. So you're reminding them of how freaking awesome it was, right? And say, be honest, like, did you guys have a good experience from start to finish with me? You know, would you recommend me to someone who might need my services in the future? And they're like, of course, yeah, duh. And you're like, awesome. You know, I really appreciate that. And it means a lot to get that feedback. I got a question for you, Mrs. Jones. What do you like more, Starbucks or Target? And then they choose one. And you go, great choice. Target is like the adults' Disneyland, right? You can't leave there without spending at least $200. Well, I've got a $15 Target gift card for you here, and hand it to her and go, if you'd be willing to do me one small favor. So she's already accepted this gift. Okay, this is important. And then you say, I gotta be honest, I really hate knocking on people's doors and bothering people during dinner time. I know I'm helping people out tremendously with what I do, but nobody likes to be bothered when they're trying to eat dinner or wind down for the evening. Unfortunately, most people have no clue they have damage unless we actually go knock on their door and let them know what's going on. So a lot of my customers have been sending me to their parents' house, neighbors, coworkers, you know, friends, church friends, stuff like that, after they realize what a sick deal they're getting on their own home. And I'm prioritizing those inspections for my existing customers right now before we have to start pushing people to wait till after winter. This Target gift card is yours if you can write down just 2 people you know in the neighborhood or in the area who might not have had a free inspection yet. And then you hand them a notebook. And what I used to do, just literally keep them all like in a line, like keep pages where everybody's adding their referrals and their phone numbers and names in one spot. So it's like, oh, obviously everybody does. Everybody refers their friends and family to this person. Hand over the notebook, hand them a pen, and just sit back and be quiet. Just like when you ask them to sign a contract and you wait. And guess what? People will do it. And if they do it really quickly, by the way, you could say, wow, Mrs. Jones, that was almost too easy. Knowing what a cool lady you are, I'm sure you've got even more friends than that. Tell you what, the Starbucks gift card is yours too if you write down 2 more. Hand her the Starbucks one, sit back. Same thing. Some people, this is true, like some people are gonna dump referrals on you. They will get out their church directory, their neighborhood directory, their kids' sports roster directory, school directory. They'll get out their cell phone. You can make it easy and be like, Mrs. Jones, shit, like if she's really cruising, be like, well, I have 3 more Target gift cards. You want another, you know, whatever that, $45? I mean, shoot. And let them keep writing stuff down. Some people are going to give you a ton. Every now and again, you might get somebody who doesn't give you any. But if you start, like, look at your customer list right now, you guys. If you already have even 5 customers, which, geez, it's middle of July. I hope you have more than that by this time of year. But if you even have 5 customers that each give you 2 leads, that's 10 leads. And if those 10 leads give you 2, that's 20, and so on and so forth. So aim for that. It's one of my favorite ways to eliminate door knocking because it takes very little sweat equity. You know that your customers, if you're asking customers who you already like, they probably have cool people in their family too. They're easier to close because you're getting directly referred by somebody that they know. Referrals are the bomb. Highly recommend this. It's going to really reduce how much work you have to put in the field. Everybody hates door knocking. It sucks ass. Let's not sugarcoat it. Referrals are the key. So hope you guys enjoyed the referral one. Let's jump to one of my second ways. And I don't have my script typed out for this. So you're just going to have to listen. But one of my other things that I like to do is connecting with people who are real estate agents, insurance agents, stuff like that, to get leads. And I'm sure you guys have heard of people who do that. And like, how do you build those relationships where I can have an insurance agent, like I'm the one that they refer when their customer of 15 years calls and says, I need to get a new roof. Like, who do you have anybody you recommend? So here's how you want to do that. There's a spammy way, which doesn't work. Nobody likes to be spammed. And then there's the way that I recommend, which is about value add. Okay, so you want to give value to receive value back. So here's the strategy that I like to employ. Call up or walk in. I like that even better. Walk in to a local insurance agency or real estate group or something like that. I'm sure you see somebody with a ton of real estate signs in the driveways wherever you're working. Write down their numbers and their names or take a picture of their sign. So whoever it is, give them a call and just say, hey, I'm so-and-so with ABC Roofing. I wanted to introduce myself. I see a ton of your guys' signs out here. Let's just say it's an insurance agent that we're talking about first. Like I actually do insurance claims. So I specialize in doing storm restoration. I help, anywhere from 500 to 1,500 customers every single year who get hail damaged on their home. And then they have to file an insurance claim because they've got holes blown through their siding or dented up gutters or whatever the case may be. And after people go through this process, I get asked a lot what insurance companies are my favorite or who I recommend. Because a lot of people, when they go through this process, they realize how crappy their insurance company actually is. And you could blame like whoever, just say like a lot of people at Allstate and they're hating Allstate right now. And I have people all the time ask me who I like. And I've always had a great experience with insert insurance company, whoever they are, nationwide. Would you be down? Like, could I grab a stack of business cards from you? And when people ask me, I can give them your card and just say, hey, why don't you give this person a call? I've had a good experience with their insurance company. What insurance agent on the planet is going to say, no, thanks, I have enough clients, right? So you're doing that first and they're like, yeah, sure. And you're like, hey, thanks a ton. I really appreciate it. I'll give you a call maybe next week. I'd love to take you out to lunch and kind of talk to you more about what you do. So then the next week or several days later, whatever you want to do, call that person back or show up at their office and say, hey, what's your schedule like on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday? I'd love to take you to lunch, whichever day works best, and chat with you a little bit more about what we do. I'd love to hear more about your business and stuff like that. And so you take them out to lunch, pay for them. And what you're going to do is obviously talk about your business and explain, what you do to help people and why you love your job, and say, hey, by the way, do you ever have people, I'm sure you've got customers that call and kind of the vice versa situation. They have an insurance claim and they want to know, do you recommend anybody? I would love to be somebody that you recommend. You mind if I leave you with a stack of my business cards? So you're doing the exact same thing in the reverse. And they're like, well, yeah, of course. They already like you. You're already trying to send them business, and try to send them as much business as you can. It's a really great reciprocal relationship. Now, real estate agents is pretty much the exact same thing. And real estate agents actually love this. I remember I had a relationship with a woman named Ann when I lived in St. Louis, and they loved us because whether she was buying or selling a house, if you can show up and for a deductible price on a house they're trying to sell or buy, you can put on a brand new roof and increase the, the value of their home, or do new siding or gutters or whatever for a deductible price. They freaking love that. So you just explain them what they do. They love sending you because they get to increase the price of the house that they're selling by 15% or whatever it is. So build those relationships. Like, those are going to be really fruitful for you guys, but give value to receive value. That's what I want you guys to take away from this today. So the last thing, if we have time here, which I believe that we do, I'm going to go back to sharing my screen. I'm going to explain how insurance companies used to pay versus how they pay now. And what this really is it's describing how depreciation works. Okay. So if you're failing to get your homeowners to truly understand the depreciation process, that is going to be the source of some of your biggest objections about price. Like when people complain and they say they just want a bid, or they want me to eat the deductible. The reason you're getting those objections is because you are leaving a blind spot in your sales presentation about depreciation. Everybody, instead of explaining depreciation well, salespeople are just like, well, it's insurance fraud for us to charge anything other than what Xactimate charges, right? Or says. That's not good enough. People don't get that. It's not clicking. So telling them it's insurance fraud alone, it just doesn't work. What you need to do is help them really understand it in their mind. And here's how you're going to do that. And by the way, this is actually part of my actual word for word sales presentation that I teach in my Roof Sales Mastery program. So if you do not have this, I highly recommend it. It will make your life very, very easy. And it's a no-brainer for people to sign after this stuff. So this is just one part of it. This is like actually part of the script. So I literally draw a chart. What you see on your screen here, I draw a T-chart and I put how they used to pay. And then over here, it's going to say how they pay now, but we'll get to that in a second. So you say, all right, Mrs. Jones, so let's just use round numbers. Let's say that State Farm comes out and they go, yep, you got damage. We agree. It's going to be $10,000 to replace everything. You have a $1,000 deductible. Now the deductible is the only part you owe. Whether the claim was $1 million or $10,000, all you owe as the homeowner or the policyholder is the deductible. Okay, so that's the only part you pay. So the insurance company is going to pay the rest. So they used to write one big fat check for $9,000 and say, here you go. You know, that plus your deductible is the 10 grand, which is what it's going to cost to replace all the stuff on your house. Have fun. Unfortunately, what do you think some people did with one big fat check for $9,000? Any guesses? Went to Vegas, new boobs, motorcycle, hot tub, okay? Like, or they would spend it on literally anything else other than getting the roof fixed, or they'd find like, you know, two chucks in a truck or Uncle Bob who's like, well, we can do it for $7,000. And then they'd not pay their deductible, pocket $2,000 to blow at the casino, and then get the roof done for a super small amount. That's fine and dandy for homeowners. I'm sure they love that, but State Farm is not in the business of buying people new toys for their home. So they stopped doing that. Okay, they don't do that anymore. Now what they do is they withhold something called depreciation. Now, I'm going to explain this. Depreciation, when people hear it, sometimes they freak out because they think it's like a car. Like if your car is depreciated, you're not going to see that money back. But on a roof, on a home claim, it's recoverable depreciation. So here's what that means. Same thing, $10,000 claim. All right, nothing's changed. They're like, this is how much it's going to cost. You still only owe your deductible for the whole project, okay, which is awesome. So the insurance company still says we are willing to pay out this $9,000. However, they're going to hold depreciation and they're going to split it into two checks. So it looks like this. They're going to give you one check up front. And that's called the ACV. That stands for actual cash value, meaning it's going to cost 10 grand to replace this roof, but right now your 30-year roof is, you know, 20 years old or whatever. So we're just going to say it's worth $6,000. We're going to give you that now up front to get started, put down a deposit with your contractor to get materials, yada, yada. And then when and only when the project is completed and we get the invoice physically that documents that the roof was done and it cost the full $10,000, then and only then are we going to release the remaining $3,000, which we have withheld as depreciation. Okay. Now, here's what happens. If Mrs. Jones, and Mrs. Jones, I'm not saying you're going to do this. I'm just saying some people in the world would. Let's say that you went and got a new hot tub instead. Okay. And then you went and you bought it and you're like, okay, State Farm, we're ready for the depreciation. And they're like, cool, where's the roofing invoice? I don't have one, right? All I have is this Carefree Spas receipt. Well, that ain't going to work. They're not going to give you a penny. Okay. Or let's say that you do hire, you know, two trucks and a truck comes along and they roof over your existing roof. They throw their debris in a creek. They don't have insurance and they're stealing from Peter to pay Paul on every single job, but they come by and they say, well, we can do it for $7,000. Well, here's what would happen. You got your first check for $6,000 and then you say, okay, we're done with the roof. You send in the document, the invoice that says $7,000, and the insurance company just says, cool. Well, we already paid you $6,000. You paid the $1,000 deductible, right? Well, that was $7,000 to pay for the new roof. Thank you for saving State Farm $3,000. You're our new favorite customer. Okay. So it doesn't save anybody any money except the insurance company to not follow Xactimate pricing. All right. And then it goes on and we go into a different part here. But this is how this works. So apart from you committing insurance fraud, which do not ask me to do that. I'm sure I don't like jail food. I've got a pretty refined palate at this point. I like my freedom. I don't know about you. But apart from sending in a false invoice, and they do audits on this stuff now, they're really cracking down on certain states, especially with deductibles and stuff like that. You can't get away with it. So if the customer's only going to pay $1,000 anyways, you want to get the best possible roof you can. And that's what we do when we do this Xactimate pricing estimate. Does that make sense, Mrs. Jones? So when you explain it like this, I promise you guys, you will have almost zero flack from people. Like they get it. And they're like, oh, okay. But if you're just like, it's insurance fraud, we don't do that. They're just like, yeah, okay, well, whatever. Some other roofer will. So you have to make it click. And that's how I do it. I draw that little chart. I explain it exactly the way that I just did it. People really understand. So I hope you guys enjoyed that here. My 20 minutes is just about up, but those are 3 tips that are really useful in your everyday sales career. So I hope that you guys like that. As always, check out roofsalesmastery.com. That's where you can check out all my programs. I have 6 different programs for sales training, recruiting salespeople, supplementing, and Xactimate training. And then I hope to see you at RoofCon. Again, that's September 30th through October 2nd. It's going to be in Orlando, Florida. And if you go to roofcon.com, you can actually use my promo code SWITZ, which is SWITZ, and that'll get you 10% off your tickets. So hope to see you guys there, shake some hands, and we'll do some learning. We'll get learned up. Kyra, take it away.
All right. Thank you, Becca, for all the great advice and strategies.
You're welcome.
Very great stuff. Can't wait to hear you speak at RoofCon too.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
Yes. And yeah, be sure to use that code to get how much off tickets?
10%.
10% off tickets.
Yep.
It's a really great deal. And of course, before we wrap up for the day, I have to announce the winner from last week's giveaway with balance claims. They're giving away $200. And the winner for that is Tyler Thompson. So be sure to message us so we can get your information and get that over to you. All right. Once again, thank you, Becca, for the great information. And thank you for everyone who joined us today and watched.
Absolutely. Adios, amigos. Bye.
Bye.